Diane, I guess you must be very happy with the announcement regarding dispersal order.
I am. It's something that we've worked together as the forum, with the police, with the public protection team. It's only part one of what we want to do, though. We want a youth service, sit back in Stifford Clays, and we want something for these people to be moved on to, not just pushing them away into a different street, because then we just move the problem on.
Because that's what people might look around here in Stifford Clays and say, where do young people go?
Well, in the summer they sit in the local parks. In the winter they hang around where they feel safe and dry, which happens to be this parade of shops.
Because it is something, if you go to youth court on a Friday on Grays Magistrates, you know, the words Cramerville Street have cropped up time and time again. So is this going to be part of the problem or part of the solution?
I want it to be part of the solution. It's not just Cramerville Street, it goes all the way across to Blackthorn Road and Fairway, all the way down Long Lane and Cramerville Street. So it's quite a large area that'll almost move them out of Stifford Clays.
And of course you recently elected Chair of Children's Services, is that right?
Children Education Families.
So in any way, is that part of the solution, so to speak?
Yes, and I'd like to think one of the reasons I was voted as chair, as an all-party vote, was because I've actually been banging the drum for things that are active and not just negative about young people.
You're always very clear in saying that you're not a political organisation.
That's correct.
But what was the as a community forum? What was your role in the dispersal order?
Well, we've been working all together with the police for some months now, and through the central cluster, to try and solve the problem. We are looking at solving the problem, not by just dispersing people and sending them elsewhere. The end is to try and find some facilities. Unfortunately, these youths are a bit picky on what they want. In fact, what they want is quite simple, but it's not as simple as they think. They want just somewhere with a light and a cover. Unfortunately, residents don't want that. They don't want anybody in their back garden. So we've been trying to work on this process and possibly a youth shelter somewhere, where at the moment we don't know. There's a possibility that the leisure centre can accommodate the youth, but the youth don't seem to want any sort of supervision. They just want to do their own thing in their own place, and they don't want to be organised. Strange as it might seem, and of course they hang about here because they like light. They feel safe, because quite often they're in a gang because they're safer in a group than if they are as individuals. Strange as it might seem, although they might be showing some sort of fear to the community, in actual fact that's not always what it's about. It's they feel safe.
So what you're saying, it's not about demonising youth, it's just really trying to help some way.
That's right. At our open meetings we always have the police, and they tell us what's happening, and keep the residents informed. I mean, we have tried to provide some facilities. Years ago when we first started, a lot of the residents just stopped us. It's a very difficult situation. It's not just Cramerville Street, it's the nation, isn't it, really? We're having this problem, and other places are far worse than here. But this just happens. This is more of a residential area, and yet we got this problem, whereas you'd think it would happen where there was things going on, but it's here.
Stealing money.